My name is James Pyle, Deputy Chief, Campus Police Department, Saddleback College. It is my honor to be the MC for this solemn ceremony in remembrance of September the 11th tragedy that occurred in 2001. We have two distinguished speakers today and a memorial wreath that will be placed in front of our Veterans Memorial. On September the 11th, 2001, we saw ordinary people choose duty in the face of death as the security guards in the Trade Center continued to help people out of the buildings as they were collapsing around them. On September the 11th, we saw loyalty to friends overwhelm all senses of danger as the New York firefighters searched tirelessly for their own. On September the 11th, 2001, we saw ordinary people choose self-sacrifice for the good of strangers as the passengers on a plane over Pennsylvania refused to allow hijackers to succeed. So many Americans serve and sacrifice on our behalf every day without regard to their own safety, and in dangerous and difficult circumstances. They run towards the peril and not away from it. Our next two speakers represent that type of citizen. Please join me in welcoming Orange County Fire Authority Battalion Chief Terry Skort.
Thank you, Chief. Boy, I think if you talk to my peers or subordinates, distinguished is probably not one word they'd use. But the bar's been raised, and I'll see if I can meet it. I appreciate it, and it's an honor today to be able to come and speak to you as we reflect on the 12th anniversary of 9/11. So today we remember a day that began like so many others. There were rides to school, commutes to work, early flights, familiar routines, quick hugs, and quiet moments. Is a day like this one, a clear blue sky, but a sky that would soon be filled with clouds of smoke and prayers of a nation shaken to a core. 12 times we've marked September 11th and it come and gone. 12 times we've paused in remembrance, in reflection, in unity and purpose. As we go through life, most of us rarely are present in the moment. What does it mean to be present in the moment? For us, present is all too often a brief, transient point on our way to the past or on our way to the future. On 9/11, all Americans were present in the moment. Each one of us remembers with clarity where he or she was as we focused on the most horrific attack ever on American soil. We all recall what we were doing, who we were with, and each one of us can recount in slow motion detail how our hearts broke as the Twin Towers fell, killing thousands of innocent people and shattering America's innocence. We all remember as if it was yesterday the feelings of sadness, anger, fear, and anxiety that rose from the core of our souls as we saw the smoke rise from Ground Zero, the Pentagon in flames, and the smoking airplane wreckage in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Each one of us knows exactly where we were, what room we were in, where we were sitting, what we just ate, and what we plan to do the day America and our lives change forever. This anniversary allows us to renew our faith that even in the darkest night gives way to a brighter dawn. So as painful as this day is, and always will be, it leaves us with a lesson that no single event can ever destroy who we are. No act of terrorism can ever change what we stand for. Instead, we recommit ourselves to the value that we believe in holding firmly without wavering to the hope that we confess. That's the commitment that we affirm today. And that's why when the history books are written, the true legacy of 9/11 will not be one of fear, hate, or division. It will be one of a safer world, a stronger nation, and people more united than ever before. Last night I received an email from a friend that works for FDNY, and it's from retired firefighter Lee Ielpi. His email stated that yet another year passed since September 11, 2001. Thank you to all of you, our brothers and sisters, who stood with us in the aftermath and who continue to remember our darkest day. As we pause to remember, please also include in your hearts and remembrances those who have made the ultimate sacrifice since 9/11 from the World Trade Center related illnesses. As Lee stated, September 11th is a difficult day for not only myself and the 9/11 community, but the world. It brings back so many painful memories from 12 years ago. However, I firmly believe that we must channel our pain to do something positive and educate people about the events of 9/11. My thoughts and prayers are with the families and friends of those who perished in the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, here in New York, the Pentagon, and Shakesville, Pennsylvania, and all who have become ill since the attacks. You paid the ultimate price for your commitment to serve others. In loving memory of my son Jonathan and FDNY Squad 28, who all perished, and all the other brothers that perished on 9/11, take care, be careful, and pass it on. So today I challenge you to all go forward and spread the word, not to forget 9/11, and as we move forward in the coming years. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, for being here with us today. Approximately 1,200 United States military veterans, active military, and their families attend Saddleback College, which supplies the necessary support services for each student to reach his or her academic and career goals. Our next speaker is a Saddleback College student and a military veteran, Dustin Ardoff. Dustin started his military career in 2005, enlisting in the United States Marine Corps in his home state of Minnesota, graduating MCRD San Diego, and completing advanced training. Dustin was deployed to Iraq in Operation Iraqi Freedom with 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines. And later in his career, he was deployed with Rifle Company, 1st Battalion, 1st Marines in Afghanistan in Operation Enduring Freedom. In February 2013, after serving our country for 8 years, Dustin was honorably discharged at the rank of Staff Sergeant. Dustin is studying business administration here at Saddleback College and is planning to transfer to the University of California, Riverside. Please join me in welcoming Dustin Ardoff.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon. 12 years ago today, tragedy struck this nation. Today we are remembering those lives of nearly 3,000 innocent men, women, and children. Today we remember the men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice defending our freedom. Today we acknowledge the heroism of this great nation, the men and women who chose to challenge fear rather than run from it. From first responders running into a burning building, passengers storming the cockpit, to men and women sacrificing their life to save another. 12 years ago today, I was a young man in high school in a small town in Minnesota. I remember. There are no words to explain what we've seen through our eyes on that horrific day. But today, I have words that explain what has happened since that day. I have seen this nation come together stronger than ever. I have seen families once distant come together as one. I've seen young men and women rise to the challenge and join our armed forces to defend and protect our freedom. I've seen over 2 million Americans go to war. I'm a witness to young men straight out of high school at the age of 18 filling out their will for the first time, only to send it home to worried loved ones. I have fought in 2 different wars and served with some of the best men who I call brothers. I have seen men in the heat of battle fight for hours as their bodies ache from the weight of their gear and ammo, rounds whizzing past our heads, but more exiting our barrels. I've seen young men continue to fight after enemy rounds have pierced their skin. I've seen men rush to their brother's aid and bring them to safety. I have seen my own life flash before my eyes. I have seen death, but lived life. I am truly thankful to be standing before you today, for there are many that cannot. I do not consider myself a hero, for today I am just their spokesperson. I truly cherish life after my tours of combat. I am thankful for my family who supported me all this way. I am thankful for the men and women who dedicate their lives to support our troops, police officers, firefighters, first responders, and many others. I am thankful and proud that I am an American. Please remember this day. Remember the lives of nearly 3,000 innocent men, women, and children who lost their lives on this very day. Remember the Americans who gave all fighting for your freedom and protecting your homeland. I stand before you today to challenge each and every one of you to not take life for granted. Embrace the time you have, spend it with your friends and your loved ones. Raise and respect our nation's colors. And finally, never forget. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. We have with us today 2 of our finest Orange County Sheriff Motor Officers, Randy Taylor and Bruce Frazee. They are going to be our wreath detail. If our wreath detail can please take their places. Also with us today, we have Aaron, Long, singing the Star Spangled Banner. She is our Saddleback College Senior Administrative Assistant for Student Development. Aaron, can you join me up here, please? Wreath detail, if you'd place the wreath, please. To honor and remember those who lost their lives on September 11, 2001, and those who lost their lives in subsequent action while protecting and defending Americans' spirit of freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a moment of silent reflection.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Patriot Day was established on September 4th, 2002 and designated September 11th as a day of remembrance for victims of the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001. A patriot is one who loves his land, prizes its principles, and cherishes its creed. A patriot so reveres the ideals of his home country that he is willing to lay down his life to ensure those ideals endure. On September the 11th, 2001, 2,977 people lost their lives as a result of the attacks at the World Trade Center, Pentagon, and Flight 93, which crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. Included with the 2,977 victims were 343 New York City firemen, 23 New York City police officers, 37 Port Authority policemen, and 15 EMTs. An additional 2,000 first responders were injured as a result of the attacks. Patriot Day is a day of remembrance for those who lost their lives on 9/11, but it is also a day to show our appreciation for those who continue to serve on the front lines. As we are doing here today at Saddleback College, we thank the members of our local law enforcement agencies and fire departments for their service. These men and women who day after day put on a uniform and put themselves in harm's way to serve and protect you. We also remember and thank the brave men and women of our armed forces who fight the enemy abroad, away from their loved ones and the ground of the country they love. The United States is a different country than we were 12 years ago. We wait in longer lines at sports stadiums and arenas. and wait in security lines to enter passenger areas. We pass through metal detectors at courthouses and hospitals. We report activity to law enforcement that in years gone by would not have been the least bit suspicious. We have specifically trained personnel who work daily to identify and derail threats before their dastardly plans can be carried out. We are smarter, more aware, much more vigilant to threats that were in years past. We are much more adept at gathering and sharing information amongst federal, state, and local agencies. These lifestyle changes and the changes in the way we do business will help prevent similar attacks from ever happening again. As we move forward, we must never forget the civilian casualties of 9/11, the firefighters, the policemen who died during the evacuation of the Twin Towers, the passengers of Flight 93 who joined together on the command, "Let's roll." Forget not the men and women who died at the Pentagon and the young men and women on the growing list of service members whose lives have been lost in the war on terror. Forgive, yes, forget, never. As we conclude today, I will leave you with a quote from President George W. Bush. America was targeted for attack because we are the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world, and no one will keep that light from shining. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundation of the biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. Thank you for being with us today. May God bless you, and God bless America. This concludes our ceremony.